Welcome to Bitstorm, a comedy game design podcast by two guys who know nothing about comedy nor game design. I'm Ben Slinger, and with me as always is Trevor Scott.
Hello.
Hello.
G'day.
G'day, mate.
G'day, mate.
That's such a natural accent.
Yeah,
when Aussies try to
anything.
When Aussies try to do Aussie accents. I think we're going to jump straight into some click pitch tonight.
Yeah, we had a whiskey a little earlier. We haven't had one since, so
yeah, you know, feeling the buzz going and had a good chat. And now it's time to come up with some video games,
cultivate some game designs. And
yeah.
Speaking of cultivate, that's my first word.
I was going to say that's a good word. My word is topple. Is into like knock over a tower or to topple something.
Cultivate, topple,
reverse Tetris, where you're growing the bricks from the ground.
Well, I was sort of thinking cultivate gardens, topple tower. A tower defense game set in a garden against zombies.
Yeah, you could like have sunlight be the currency.
No, but I do like the idea of like maybe the idea is to like cultivate your tower you're trying to topple other people's. Yeah.
I've often been interested in kind of growing as a mechanic, and yeah, I like that idea. Then, like, essentially having a delayed build. You know, it's like, okay, I'm going to need something here. So I need to make sure it's going to get enough sun.
I'm thinking that you've got to keep it neat and tidy as well, because if it gets too overgrown, then maybe it can actually topple your tower,
like weeds and such,
and vines and all this sort of stuff that is like.
Well, I'm kind of wondering, I was wondering, is your tower a plant as well? But that maybe does make it harder to topple.
I mean, in my mind, the tower is very much a Rapunzel sort of tower,
right?
Sort of thing out in the middle of nowhere. But I do like the idea of these towers are actually growing alongside the
or things are just growing on the tower could be interesting. So you could
things
have
growing on the tower, but the tower is also like
getting taller,
getting just slightly taller. Like it's a much slower, sort of thing. So you got to really spend your time cultivating, and you know.
Yeah, I do like the idea of a strategy game there, almost a real time strategy, but which I haven't played any in a long time. But having that sort of like all of your defenses and things are things that you have to grow. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you then have units. Like I don't know what the attacking looks like then necessarily. If it's a multiplayer thing.
I almost like the idea that like these towers are actually all part of like something bigger,
like a root system.
And really it's not that the towers are getting bigger, it's just that the earth around it is eroding and makes it look like it's growing bigger, but really what's actually happening is this is something emerging.
Like when you shave your pubes.
Yeah, like when you shave your pubes. It always looks bigger. Yeah. I mean, the tower grows.
The tower grows. It emerges.
It emerges because you cultivated that bush.
Yeah. So basically, these towers are a bunch of dicks. They're eldritch cocks.
They do have that bulbous end, don't they? And they come out all over the place. 3, 2, 1, click. Eldritch comes, so it's dark. and
Ica. It's vile Ica of the gods.
Fucking black cum.
3, 2, 1, click.
Cylinder.
Glory. The glorious cylinder.
I need to make a contraption that is somewhat like a glory hole, but it can't hurt the cylinder that I want to put inside it.
Oh my god!
You ever heard that bloody thing on Reddit? Like,
no.
There's certain things of,
Oh, like needing to make something the certain size.
But it can't hurt the cylinder.
It can't hurt the cylinder I'm going to put into it. Right. Yeah.
So I like the idea of you've got a game where it's like...
It's all innuendo.
It's one of those cozy games.
Yeah.
Whereas like you've got all these different holes of hand sort of thing, and it's just like, it's all about, snugly fitting the cylinder in it without, crushing it or anything like that.
It's just a soft body physics.
Soft body physics of this sausage.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
I mean, might as well just go with sausage.
Sure. Plug the sausage. Cylinder. Plug the sausage. You're just trying to make holes in things to put the sausage into?
I think this is like a cozy game, whereas like, for this particular size cylinder, you got to choose the.
Oh, right. So it's different sausages.
You've like, got okay, that's that level down, and it's like in there you get
thick bratwurst, kind of chody sausages. You've got the long, thin barbecue pencil sausages,
corn dogs.
Big, thick, crusty corn dogs,
and it's like
little what do you call Savoy frankfurts,
and it's just it's all about. Can you hold that sausage in just the right way that
So is it about creating the hole, or just about getting the sausage safely into an existing hole? It's like positioning the couch cushions just right for that JD Vance sausage.
It really gets weird when you've got the two sponges in a bag and
yeah,
lots of lube in it.
It's like, why are we putting this sausage in here? You have to like spread the skin of one sausage and fit another sausage into it. It's like, what is this game?
You just got this mouth and you open it up and put the sausage in it, and it's like, cover up the teeth with the lips. How much further can we go?
This episode we're only like 5 minutes in. 3 to 1 click.
3 to 1 click.
Photograph.
Dozen.
So you got a dozen cocks. One? No. All right. Dozen and photo. Okay. Well, I mean, I like the idea of having to photograph 12 things.
Or this is back in the 80s. You get given, you go to the local Kmart.
Yep.
And you print out your photos.
Yep. Oh, okay.
And there's a dozen photos in there that you did not take.
Okay.
And you need to find
like what they go using those as clues, like hunt down. Yeah.
I think it's just this small sort of area, and you realize these are all taken at this park. And it's just, if you trace them back and you follow this back,
yep.
You actually, it's some sort of mystery.
Yeah.
Sort of thing that you find.
I definitely love that intro of the classic old pick up your photos after they've been developed.
And it's like,
and some others have been mixed into it.
You're going, and you're like 24, 25. What? There's only 24 usually, and there's 36 photos.
Yeah.
Just the idea of having, these 12 extra photos that are in the negatives. Like, so for some reason, 12 extra photos that were part of your role, even though it's a 24 role thing. I love the idea of, you hand it in and then... Yeah,
and they're like, no, this was a 36. This was a 36 next frame.
1 hour photo, come back in an hour and, you come back and you're going through the photos, you're seeing some happy family things.
I like the idea actually of having some... that intermediate time before you know what the hook of this game even is, where it's sort of this narrative building thing or world building thing. So yeah, head in the photos, and then you go off and you just explore this mall or park, connected park and stuff. You can go around for a while. I don't think it's an hour real time or anything, but like you've got a clock. Approximately the time. And there are some conversations you can have. There are some mini games. You can throw a frisbee for a dog in the park, whatever. But then when you pick up these photos, it's like you might now recognize some of these places. Like by having had that walk around, it's like, oh, wait a sec, that looks like the corner of that weird sculpture in the foyer or the front, the food court or whatever. That looks like that part of the park.
And you really want those first two to be things that you walked through when you first got in, and it's like, oh shit, I know.
Or that if you just start walking around aimlessly, you're gonna see pretty easily. And then I think past that, then you maybe need other clues that come from finding those ones. Like there can almost be a path through. Like once you line that up, it's like, wait a sec, like it points to something else and you find something hidden, or a bit of a scavenger hunt.
Just following that blindly and just sort of, trying to having to get into the exact position.
Yeah.
Having that little... One of the things that Zelda Breath of the Wild did well was you had that same idea of the photos that you could actually find those things, and then you got a little clip back of what happened back there. And it's
right, yeah.
Just the idea of getting into that exact position, and it's like you see sort of like the overlay of the photo and the thing was there. Yeah. Maybe you get a little bit of a clip and you go, I don't remember this happening, but it's like it's...
Or every time you line one up, you then turn the photo over and something's now written on the back in that classic way of how you would describe the thing in the photo.
There's just something about that just intrigues me as to what that mystery could be, whether it's, you find something that some sort of geocache sort of thing that someone else has put there, or you find, a body or something. Or
I kind of like keeping it cozy, that it's, it's not a high stakes thing. It's almost like there's some fucking playful imp set this up and you happen to be the one they chose to, go through this. Or it's like, it's Cupid and this is how they, connect you with your soulmate or something. Or
that... Having it somewhat creepy and then it being wholesome could be really cool. Like, I like the idea of it sort of aiming towards like a darkness, and then it's like it turns out that it's...
Yeah, well, not even... Yeah, that's the thing. Like, it can obviously feel dark just from the uncertainty of it, because, like, this is a weird thing that's happening. Why? Your character can be afraid, they can be unsure, but then... And then as these things start happening, it's like you finding these places and getting these clues in some way. It's like, what the fuck? Like, what is going on here? But yeah, kind of having that, then getting into the rhythm of it then as you go through each of the next photos and being like, oh, actually, this is kind of fun. Like, I'm still kind of freaked out, but, nothing's bad's happened. I think
by the time you get to the end, the light, the sun is set. You've got the lights on in this park area sort of thing, and it's sort of like it matches now one of the other photos where it's like, oh, that's this light, and this light, and that's what I'm actually seeing here.
Yeah, well, because that could be interesting as well, because if the photos are taken at a different time of day, but you're having to match it still, and so it's not going to be an exact match. It's not like the lighting's going to match up, but you can then see like, oh yeah, okay, that tracks. That's kind of interesting.
That's really cool. I really like that idea. I've just been... I suppose I've been feeling a little bit nostalgic for like the way things used to be, back in the...
Like the old shopping centres and things?
And old PCs and that sort of stuff. Just... The kids today have a little bit too easy with, seeing movies and all that sort of stuff, that it's all available on their devices the second they actually watch
physical media. I keep seeing TikToks come up of this woman who does stuff with old media, and she's been going through Encarta 96, and people are saying, what does it say for this? Look up this on Encarta. Like, it's very nostalgic.
3 to 1 click.
Yeah. Hiccup.
Final.
The final hiccup. Or a hiccup that causes some sort of finality. And this doesn't have to be a hiccup in a human body. This could be.
It can just be literally
something that goes slightly awry.
Something that goes slightly wrong in like a system.
Yeah.
And it's like the final straw, and it actually causes, this massive.
From a mechanical point of view, it could be interesting to have like an automation style game where not everything's reliable. Like if you think of any automation game, once you've put it down, shit doesn't break down.
My mind immediately goes to like I remember talking about it probably years ago, that it's like a Australia Post sort of thing where, we're launching parcels across the room and all this sort of stuff. And just the idea that you're doing that, but occasionally shit breaks.
Well, that's it. I think having to...
And becomes unreliable.
Having to account for errors, having to account for bugs in the system, for something breaking down, and now all the packages are stacking up, but having ways to preemptively deal with certain situations that may arise. That's something that's not been done really in those automation games.
And just the idea that, this catapult has fired 10 times and you used the cheap grease on it, so now, it's not as effective. Or
even just, that 9 out of 10 times this catapult will fire something that lands in the same spot, but that every 10th time or so, it'll be off by a meter or whatever. And just having to deal with the variance of physical things and having to account for that in your builds.
There's something fun with that.
Yeah, like having to build in redundancies, having to build in... I guess some games have it in a sense that you can get attacked and shit can break down and you have to you could, potentially build workarounds. I just
like the idea of wear and tear and things can break and you can spend extra money on getting better quality components,
You'd have to be very careful with it as well. Like, it couldn't be a Satisfactory style game where everything's just got wear and tear and there's a whole bunch of busy work in keeping shit running, because that'd be just annoying. That sort of game is about building these perfect systems. It would need to really be designed around, probably a smaller system, but it is around these redundancies. It's like, for whatever reason, this particular conveyor belt will sometimes will sometimes back up a bit and things will fall off the side. And it may just be, I'm just going to put a second conveyor belt there. I'm going to put a conveyor belt to the side because I know that this happens sometimes and now this will catch it.
Or I'm going to put a wall on it and that wall will actually
that's it. Or it may just be, it needs a guide rail. Like, having to deal a bit more with the physicality of these things.
What I like is that maybe these automations already exist. And it's like, the idea is that you are like...
It's more of a puzzle game in a way.
You're now, okay, you're coming in, you need to identify what the problem is, based on their discussion. They say, we find parcels all over the floor every now and again. Okay, so one of the things here isn't working properly and you need to sort of investigate and just watch it for a little bit. See, I see what's happening. It's like, it's backing up because,
like the rates that they come in.
What it actually is this can't always scan the parcels 100%. So it'll sit there, it'll scan, it'll fail, it'll scan again, and it moves on.
Yeah.
But you do that enough times and they start backing up and they start falling off. And it's like, okay, I could put a guardrail back there, or I could just clean the lens on this thing. And it's like, it's all about
finding those subtle kind of inefficiencies in an existing system. I like that a lot, actually, because there's a lot you could do there. And it would almost feel like debugging a legacy computer system or something, right? Like there's a real interesting feeling to coming into that, tracing your way through and understanding how the system both is intended to work and is actually working. And then, finding those sorts of things. It could be as little as, like you said, it has to, there's a system for scanning the barcode, but it has to rotate it, based on which direction it comes in as. We could change this up by putting something ahead of time to, ensure it always comes through in a certain orientation or something.
Fix out the efficiencies by replacing this conveyor here with this slightly more expensive one that'll actually make sure it's always in the right place. Mm. It doesn't need to refix the
or it could even be at 3 p.m. every day. The postie drops off a bunch of parcels, and there's a peak, and there are just a few weak points that can't deal with that.
Yeah,
but it's you can't. It's not something you can necessarily figure out easily just by watching. At a normal time, you need to see what it's like under that pressure.
I like the idea that you can create. You can also say, for this section, I can stop this and see what happens if it backs up. Does this give a version of what's happening in that photo?
Well, yeah, and I think even having some diagnostics where you can say, all right, on this conveyor, put a little tracker on there and show me the rate.
How many letters are going through this right now?
Yeah. And that you can see and even have a historical graph there, so you can you're getting some really good insight into it, but you can only do that on 3 things at once. You still have to be really aware to know what should I be tracking and figure out where that is.
There's something about finding out based on, they say that it's this, but it's actually something completely unrelated to that. That is
oh yeah,
it's actually, the sorter back here isn't sorting efficiently enough, so it's just putting all the parcels down there's one line. It's okay, that's causing the issue.
Yeah.
But the inefficiency could actually be it's only going to one line because the postie he doesn't do his initial sort. He just dumps it all into this one basket, and that's what's actually causing it. So
honestly, this is the most I've felt like a game comes to debugging software. And I mean, I know that there are some pretty hardcore software games, and all the Zachtronics stuff or whatever is pretty intense. But from very much a more of a layman, perspective coming in, but having some real depth to it, where maybe you can see, you can see, you plug your little thing into the sorting machine, and you realize, there's a bunch of error logs in here because something's coming in incorrectly, or it's configured slightly incorrectly, and while they get through eventually, it's slowing everything down. Or
just how far you could take that.
Yeah.
Well, everything having that little plug that you can just plug in.
That's it. I really like that. You're still walking around in a 3D space. So you're having to get a sense of this in this 3D space and the efficiencies through the space. It's not just looking at a circuit board or looking at code or whatever, but then that each component, has under the hood different things that can be going wrong. And that the error that is being, as you said, the actual effect of this that's being reported by the post office or whatever could be a factor of 2 or 3 different things that are compounding at certain points that by themselves aren't causing problems, but under these certain conditions. Designing that, then you could really come up with some things and that aha moment, when you come across that and actually figure out, that's what you want to capture.
Because I don't know about you, but that euphoria that you get from figuring out a puzzle.
Oh, it's so satisfying. A work problem or whatever, or someone saying this is running really slow, and realizing, this database needs an index on it and that'll solve everything. Whatever it is. But the work that, generally there's a lot of work that tracing different things, trying to sort of, it's
having it as a cozy version of that.
Yeah.
You don't have a time limit. You don't have, you don't have like.
In fact, you're billed by the hour.
and thing is, it's actually all fine. If you do it really, really quickly, you'll get a bonus or something like that. But it's like, no matter what, like if you're there for 3 weeks trying to figure out this simple thing, it's just like it took 3 weeks.
Yeah,
it's just a cozy sort of thing of you.
I like the idea actually of like you do it more. The more quickly you do it, you get like a reputation boost of some sort. But yeah, if you do it slowly, like you've got an hourly rate,
and
it may be, and you still fixed it, so you're still going to get like a reasonable rate. Yeah.
If you're leaving, you don't do it. Well, I think maybe you can have a little reputation like, drop.
Yeah,
but I don't think there's any repercussions to that. I think it's
and you give them a cozy mode as well, which doesn't have any of that. Like I could see it being fun for sort of almost a career mode of, okay, if you come in, you've got the easier ones first. If you solve them relatively quickly, you'll start getting a reputation for like, oh, this person knows what they're doing. Like, I've got this difficult job, I know who to call, kind of thing, and building that up and getting to the trickier ones, because then there can be a real prestige to getting access to the harder jobs. And then, yeah, you could have the money layer in there just as a fun, interesting thing. But
this is a really, really cool idea, and I can really see it as something that I would just love to sit down and play for a bit.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to build as well, just from a data point of view, like figuring out the flows and the.
This is a real systems game with
like full on systems, like layers of systems. Then, like not only just the sort of making sure the 3D and the physics and stuff works well, but
gameplay there that, like, if you build the system well enough, you could even then enable,
just like a free build mode or
a mode that effectively people can, for the Steam Workshop or whatever, build some contraptions.
Yes.
That, because what I'm thinking is, if you did it well enough in the fact that you explained what this thing does, the inputs, the outputs, and
I mean, at the end of the day, you're kind of just building a circuit, or like a flow, flow chart, some code. I think it would depend on obviously how much whether you do actual simulated physics, which could be really interesting then to have these things affect the simulated physics, and you're going to get some real emergent stuff, but it's coming from real configurations on these things. Because, I could see like a Steam Workshop situation where people are just like building these systems that are breaking and are so hard to figure out why.
I'm now seeing like there's this chain going around this gear, but one of the teeth on the gears is actually broken, so it slips every now and again.
Yeah.
Because it's like it's only got that one thing there, so it's like
having mechanical issues as well.
Then it grips again.
Yeah,
like because I remember I had a bike.
Yeah,
that one of the teeth went.
Yeah,
and literally I went down to get it repaired, and they didn't notice. I went to ride off, and it slipped again. I'm like, you said that you fixed this, and they looked into it, and I'm like, holy shit, you've actually lost a tooth here and a tooth here, and that was just like,
well, and that's it's an interesting thing then, because you're essentially like, that can be very hard to notice, because depending on what that gear is driving, you may just lose efficiency for like one fraction of a turn, basically. And that can have knock-on effects then, where in combination with other things, but it's very hard to track down and notice.
This is an 18-speed bicycle, and I would always take off in the worst way.
Yeah.
I'd be in the lowest, but in the 6th gear.
Okay.
So basically, I was putting a lot of pressure into the gears to actually get moving. But I hated I hated the early gears because you start riding with it and it's like, oh god, it just like your feet are going around so far and you're barely moving anymore.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, I always just wanted...
You wanted to put some muscle into it to get going.
And I get going straight away. He goes, you're not riding it properly. I'm like, I'm riding it the way that I like to ride it. Like, why can't it just do that?
That's awesome.
That's all we have time for tonight.
Oh, geez, yeah. I love when we find a good...
That was a really good one.
A good nugget like that. Yeah, that's really cool. There's something really enticing about a game where you're walking around in a 3D world, but then you can get access to that like undercurrent of data that's actually going through
it's
it.
Like, how do you get across there? Oh, you need to, duck under this, or wait for these to finish.
Well, that's it. Even having like having actual physical issues with like I can't easily track this and track this at the same time until I whatever upgrade and get a remote telemetry device that hooks into my thing, because I can't be plugged into both at the same time because they're physically too far apart.
The wires aren't long enough.
Like those are fun problems to solve then, and ways to make
career mode. Just like, I'm going to put that money that I just made into now
buying equipment, so
I can actually monitor those two at the time. You can do it with one.
I mean, you could potentially, if you monitor one, you wait, you go over, you monitor the other one, and through this, through the next sort of time period, and you can maybe then compare them. You've got the history there. You've got what you measured.
Wireshark it and save the
save your output. But if you could create good intuitive interfaces for that too, that could really I feel like expose really interesting sort of debugging and problem solving things,
and to get an emergent gameplay, which is what I'm always
love it. Cool. So thank you for joining us this week on Bitstorm. If you want to find our previous episodes online, go to bitstormcast.com. And check them out. And actually, whatever, I'll just give a little note here. Whatever you do, don't ask Google's new fucking search about our podcast, because it hallucinates like mad. I tried it today and I searched for Bitstorm. It got the podcast bit right and what we talk about. And then I was like, do you want me to go into some of the like game designs they came up with in their recent episodes? And then proceeded to take the ideas that we had from the episode description and just completely make up all of this shit that we did not talk about. So don't trust it. Listen to the episodes.
Listen to the episodes, because it's so much better if you listen to the episodes. Look, if you like the song that we play at the start and end of each episode, that song is called Mount Defiance of the album Containment Failure by the band Kurodust. And just check out that song. It's really, really cool. I really, really like it.
So thank you again for joining us this week on Bitstorm. I'm Ben Slinger.
I'm Trevor Scott. And Ben.
Yeah.
All these parcels are backing up over here and they keep on falling onto the floor. Do you have any idea what it could actually be?
I don't know. I better check these mysterious photos that I picked up from Kodak.